The boreal forest is the term applied to the huge area of dense coniferous forests of North America, Northern Europe, and Asia, occurring at high latitudes where the climate is characterized by very cold winters, usually about 40 centimeters of rainfall and a short summer growing season. The dominant species are evergreens such as pine, spruce, fir, whose water loss through transpiration is low in winter at the same time when the soils may be permanently frozen. Although summers can be very warm, the growing season is a short 50 to 100 frost-free days. There are only about 30 days when light is sufficient and the temperature is high enough for full-sized trees to grow.
Most of the soils are strongly leached as a result of centuries of leaching and somewhat impoverished parent materials. The soils are generally very acidic, and the main soil process under this dominantly leaching climate is podulization, leading to podzolic soils. The extreme climate, coupled with a strong soil acidity, means that relatively few organisms exist in the soil, and the turnover of organic matter is slow.
Under these conditions, the organic layer comprising the topsoil is usually thick and consists of a litter layer, largely undercomposed, overlying a fermentation layer in which there is some decomposition of the organic remains, and this in turn overlies a humus layer in which decomposition of the organic remains is more or less complete. The turnover of plant remains into nutrients that can be reused by the trees is very slow here and is in contrast with the rapid turnover experienced in the tropical rainforest.
Temperatures in the boreal forest can be lower than the Arctic tundra in winter. In central areas of Alaska and Siberia, far from the sea's moderating influence, seasonal temperature fluctuations are the greatest on the planet. Central Siberia has the coldest temperatures outside of Antarctica, dropping as low as negative 90 degrees Fahrenheit, while in the summer it may reach 85 degrees Fahrenheit. The most characteristic feature of the boreal forest is muskeg. A muskeg bog is neither land nor water, but a mixture of the two, like a thin, crusty porridge. Spugnag moss forms a spongy mat over standing water, and wherever you stand, you're standing in water. A few hardy plants that can tolerate wet, highly acidic conditions grow in the muskeg, such as black spruce, willow shrubs, cranberries, pitcher plants, and orchids.
The Boreal is also dotted with thousands of rivers, small lakes, marshes, and potholes and depressions left by retreating glaciers, which provide food and shelter for ducks, geese, swans, and other waterfowl.
Fire is crucial to a healthy boreal forest. It removes old diseased trees along with the pests in their bark. Some tree species, such as aspen and jack pine, actually need fire to stimulate the reproductive cycle. The nutrient-rich ash left behind helps fuel plant growth, and the variety of plant communities that spring up after a fire sustain different varieties of wildlife. The elimination of natural forest fire cycles in national parks, combined with the warming global temperatures, have allowed insect pests, such as the pine beetle, to decimate thousands of hectares of the forest.
Locked up in the boreal forests are vast amounts of carbon. Their biomass is so huge that during their maximum growth phase in the spring and summer, worldwide levels of carbon dioxide fall and worldwide levels of oxygen rise.
The boreal forest acts as a carbon sink, meaning it takes in more carbon dioxide than it puts into the atmosphere. Mammals living in the boreal forest include foxes, lynxes, bears, minks, squirrels, while other larger animals include gray wolves, caribou, and moose. Many of these species hibernate during the harsh winters, but those who do not have adapted to walk nimbly on the snow. For example, moose have large and flat hooves, which distributes the weight more evenly over any given surface.
Some of the effects of global warming on the boreal forest include acid rain generated by the burning of fossil fuels in industrialized areas far south of the forest.
The forest is the world's richest source of softwood timber and pulpwood and has been exploited for the past 200 years. In this cool climate, forest regeneration is painfully slow and can take centuries. When trees are cut down, smaller vegetation begins to grow, but without the binding effect of tree roots, soil erosion eventually begins. If you would like to learn more about the boreal forest, please visit blueplanetbiomes.org, www.ucmpberkeley.edu/exhibits/biomes/forest.php, and ontarionature.org.